good evening or good morning or good afternoon. I don't know if that, do you say good afternoon? Yeah, that's a word. Whatever time you're listening to this podcast, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. It's considered TV, right? I'm guessing. We're live on the YouTube. Live on the YouTube. Not in Belarus, though. Told. For paper, you have to flatten it before you receive. I'm guessing they don't crush everything before they're collecting paper. Like 3D objects get routed away. If you leave your paper like a box, if you leave it assembled, the likelihood that it's going to get the back goes down. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to listen to the people of packaging. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a special. It's a special. Wait, hang on. I think I've got my. I got some sound effects. Got a special episode live here on LinkedIn. We're not really kind of talking about packaging, but I was super stoked to meet Jet, who showed up with some packaging to my house. It was a crumble cookie box, and he was like, "I want to talk to the Weenus Lube King," and I was like, "Let's do it." So we're going to be talking about Weenus Lube. Those things. I'd be a terrible early morning DJ here on LinkedIn, and I am joined by Sam and Jet from Redo. Let me pull these guys up here. What's going on, Sam and Jet from Draper, Utah?
What's up, Adam? Happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. So we were having a chat about Weenus Lube and about Shopify and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, man, I would love to sell more Weenus Lube. And they were like, well, we don't know if we can really help you out with that, but we can put some really cool toys and some cool tools on your website that are going to help the customer experience. And I was like, why don't we do this live on LinkedIn? And they were like, no. I said, please? And they were like, yeah, okay, that's a great idea. So guys, I've seen a bunch about Redo on LinkedIn, and I'm excited to get it installed on my Shopify. So first, why don't one of you just tell everybody, the two people who might be watching live, the cool part about LinkedIn is it just keeps playing over and over and over again. So why don't you guys let them know, like, what is Redo on a very high level, and then they'll get to see it. It's going to be great.
Sure. I'm happy to go, Jet, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
So Redo is a post-purchase platform that kind of handles a lot of the customer experience. So anywhere where your logistics or your marketing touches the customer experience, we want to get in there and make it better, and really kind of deliver an Amazon Prime-like experience to your customers, and hopefully do that at a really low cost or totally free cost for the merchant. So we started out with that in returns, and we'll talk a lot about returns today and kind of get that set up. And then we've kind of been moving into a couple other channels as well and bundling it all, trying to offer this whole post-purchase experience into one platform.
I love it. And I was excited because I've been sitting on this stuff for almost a year now. Not all of it. I've sold about half of what we have. But I'm excited because it was kind of a refresh to the page a little bit. I loved what I saw in the demo, and I was like, let's just do it all. Let's give it a shot, and let's just do it all. So Jet, thank you for showing up with a crumble cookie. And I did put in the post when I was promoting this, I was like, I ate a cookie from a complete stranger because it was in the pink box. Like, if you just walked up to imagine just walking up to somebody with a cookie in your hands, just like your gritty hands, and you're like, can I give you this cookie to talk to you about Shopify? I'd be like, I do not want to eat that cookie, but that cookie comes in a box. Now I trust you. And I ate it, and it was good, and I didn't get sick or die. So thank you. Well, you guys tell me. So I'm ready to go. By the way, I have a code. So if anyone wants to use code Redo, it's limited, but you can go on there. You just have to pay for shipping, and you can get a free tube of Weenus Lube. So if you're watching this and you want to use code Redo, or if you have an employee or a coworker there, gentlemen, that wants an 8-ounce tube of lube, they can just use code Redo when they check out. Or watch this. I just put, it's a YouTube comment, sorry, but I've got a link that's up there. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you found me on YouTube. But there's a link that you could click. Hope I did that right. I'm not a Shopify expert. So anyway, just use code Redo, and you can get a free tube of Weenus Lube. So thanks, guys.
Cool. Well, Adam, are you good to jump into the setup and we can just get this going?
Let's go. Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it. Well, I'll share my screen here.
All right, we'll pull it up.
And just to kind of preface things, we generally, Adam, don't do everything all at once. We're going to be able to, but just want to let you know and let everybody on LinkedIn know it's going to be a lot of information at once. So,
okay.
Happy to send over some walkthrough videos and whatnot, or answer any questions that might pop up in the chat.
Sweet.
So you guys can see my screen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
So this is going to be when you install Redo, this is your landing page, right? We've got some summary on your returns, and usually you see 0 on analytics. That's a bad thing. In this case, it's a good thing, right? No returns yet, not losing any money. One cool thing about Redo is that our incentives are well aligned. So on Redo, we go ahead and put a little toggle, and I'll pull up an example right here. So a little toggle or cart card that says free return shipping right when you check out. And the customers purchase that. And if they buy it when they check out, then we pay for that return shipping label. And then we also put just that designated return portal into your footer, right? So here into their returns footer. And this is just one of those merchants that uses us. We've got a little button here. When you click start a return, it logs you right into their return portal. And the customer can enter.
So this is cool, right? This is cool for somebody like me who's me and my son who are solopreneurs, I think is very part-time solopreneurs, just trying to lubricate everyone's weenuses. Where I don't have to have like a full like call desk or support or, strictly sell it through FBA on Amazon or something. Like I can, because we just candidly, like we make more money when it's bought through our Shopify page than we do when it goes through Amazon. So this is a way to help the customer experience and help them go, okay, you know what? If I don't like it, if it smells like crap, whatever it is, if it doesn't really work on my elbows, your weenus is your elbow, people. Get your head out of the gutter. Then they go, this isn't really working. I'm having some performance issues with the lubrication. And so they can then go, all right, start a return. And they can have that confidence knowing that they can buy it and that they could return it if they don't particularly care for it.
Exactly, right? Sweet. So hopefully it's a win-win-win, right? It's a win for you because you get this designated return portal and we'll process all your returns. It's a win for your customers because they get that free return shipping and the ease of the return. It's a win for us because we get to provide the software totally free to you, right?
Right.
Okay, so jumping into the settings here and the actual setup, we've got some basic analytics here. We've got in here, inside of your settings and customer portal, a little place that we've came through and customized this portal for you. Sweet. And so directly following the call, if it's cool with you, Adam, I can go ahead and grab this link and then just paste it into your footer so customers can start a return through that portal.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's easy enough. Shout out, by the way, to my guy, Kirk Visola, for the Weenus Lube logo with the 2 elbows and the W. On it. He did a great job.
Pretty slick.
Yeah.
And the hoodie. That's amazing.
Yeah, we did. I made one. This is one of one so far.
One of a kind.
One of a kind, yeah.
Cool. So customer enters in their info. We automatically log them into the portal and they submit a return, right? We won't get into the nitty-gritty of it today, but there's some cool ways in there that we could drive some upsells for you, Adam. And one thing about the onboarding process is we want to make sure that it's really white gloved. So we'll have a 7-day check-in to go over some of the details.
Oh, perfect. Here. We get to hang out again. We won't do that one live though. That might be people might.
Anybody who wants to see that we can send them a recording or something, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever tried this, by the way. I've always I get a lot of software demos and I'm like, well, why not? Or even implementations, right? It's like, well, why not put this out there so that lots of people can see what you guys are doing? So I think it's super cool. So thanks again for entertaining this idea. And shout out to your bosses who maybe let this work. Maybe it was more like ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We've got a kind of cool thing here with our return flow, we call it, where basically we can automatically verify customers are eligible for a return using this logic. This maps into the portal. And I went in and actually built this so it matches your return policy beforehand.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So one of the cool things that we're doing here, and I'll actually log into this portal for a customer like I'm trying to make a return. Let's see if we've got one that we can do here. So right here, I'm logged in for David here. I want to start an exchange or return. Select that product that I'm returning. And then it'll say, hey, why are you returning the item? And hopefully, Adam, this is an opportunity for you to collect some info here where the customer can say, I didn't know what a weenus was.
That's fair. Yeah.
It did not lubricate my weenus.
Oh, tough break.
It's not what I expected, or the item is damaged.
Yeah.
And if any of these, these are things that we can customize here in this return flow as we move forward.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is just kind of what we had in built out for your brand beforehand.
Sweet.
Cool. I guess a couple things that are a little technical, so I'll move through them quick, but customer submits their return request pops up here. You'll be able to click in and view that return request and view any images or information that they've attached with that request, and then just click process. When you process, we'll take care of basically everything. So we'll restock the product into Shopify, we'll issue the refund or the store credit or the exchange in the way that you'd like us to, and we'll charge the customer if there's any outstanding balance or restocking fees. Should be pretty slick.
Okay, so I just have to, so I at least can say approve the return. Is that kind of how that works, or?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So generally the flow would be, we automatically verify the customer's eligible for a return in their requesting process, where we make sure they're within the return policy window and stuff. And then the customer comes in, submits their return, receives a return shipping label, and you just receive the product back, open it up, and verify it's in the proper condition, and then click process.
Okay, that's great.
In the cases where maybe you do want to approve it manually beforehand, we've got some steps built in for that. So if it was damaged, if they say it was damaged, then we'll allow you to view the image beforehand, that sort of thing.
Got it.
Cool. Would more detail around return processing be helpful, or?
No, I mean, so far, I'm sure that there are people who would have questions on return, but I have had zero. So okay. This isn't exactly like a, everybody has been fully satisfied with their Weenus lubrication thus far, and so that.
Hey Sam, maybe it'd be worth bringing up. Obviously, with Weenus Lube, there's one product, one variant. What about scenarios where we can help people encourage maybe exchanges rather than refunds, things like that?
Oh yeah,
sure, yeah. So there's some cool stuff we can do inside the portal where, one, we can change around the wording to make exchanges or store credit a little bit more visible. And then refund is something where you've seen a few offers before you actually select refund, right? So customers are coming through and they're seeing a lot of incentivizing or enticing options to exchange before they, go ahead and request a refund. The other thing that we can do is pay for return shipping on exchanges and store credit, and charge return shipping on refunds, or offer, a 10% bonus or a $5 bonus if you go with the exchange rather than the refund.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think like the last thing that's cool there is, if I was making a return maybe on a clothing store and you give me $10 extra, I usually can't find a product that's just $10 more expensive. And so I end up maybe buying 2 products or buying something that's what we consider an upsell. And we'll plug in some cool analytics to show you how we're driving upsells, and can run some A/B testing on exchanges and stuff like that.
I like it. So you're saying if I was selling this one-of-a-kind Weenus Lube hoodie, and maybe there was a T-shirt, they may be like, well, I really like the product. I don't know. It would have to be, like I think about like Dude Wipes, for example, who's one of my favorite brands. I talk about them often, right? So maybe they weren't super stoked on the Dumpkin Spice latte scent, but so they just wanted the unscented or whatever. So if they did an exchange and they got $10 or they got $5 or something like that, then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get a t-shirt or something. And it's like,
exactly.
now the customer feels good about themselves because they get what they want and they get a little bit extra, and the brand feels like, all right, we still got some, we retained the customer and gave them something. That's a cool option.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like from what we've seen, if you really look at what retains customers and what drives a positive experience, exchanges are just so seamless that when you can request an exchange, you're more likely to see that customer come back and shop again.
Yeah, because they haven't punted on your brand. They just didn't like that one particular thing. In my case, they're just like, this brand sucks because my brand is one product, but we're more well-established brands. That's really cool.
And not for long. Not for long.
Not for long.
So hoodie's coming soon.
We will see.
Jet, anything else you want to call out on the return side of things, or Adam, any questions before we jump into some of those other solutions?
I think it's great. Looks awesome.
Okay.
I'm good. Let's rock and roll. What do we got next?
Cool. So the next thing we've got is our customer support tool. People online, and you, I'm sure, Adam, are probably familiar with like a Gorgeous or a Zendesk or an Intercom or maybe a Reamaze. These tools are great because they integrate all of your channels into one spot, and then they allow you to respond and automatically pull in customer information in a really sleek way. So especially for somebody like you who's a solopreneur and is getting bombarded with customer questions about some sort of performance issue with their Weenus Lube, it's a common problem, right?
Yeah.
Those customers, might be messaging in through a variety of channels. And what we've seen is that it can just be a hassle to be looking them up in all these different locations. So we've kind of copied this Gorgeous or Zendesk model with a couple of cool innovations around returns, and I think are real people pleasers, where we integrate all of your channels, right? So we've got email plugged in here. So we've got your success@weenuslube.com email address plugged in here. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram. We can plug in all of these different spots, right? And then we're going to pull all those into actually a support chat bot right here, a support inbox, that'll just pull in each one of these messages.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So,
that's my inbox.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
So all of your emails that you're going to be getting to that, success@weenuslube.com are going to come in here. And then
but also if I had like DMs on Instagram or, things like, or I don't know, TikTok or Facebook, I guess.
Exactly. Right. Or comments.
I'm in my 40s, so I'm supposed to use, what about MySpace, AOL Instant Messenger? Those are not going to work.
We haven't built integrations with those yet. But if you're getting a lot of volume through MySpace, Adam, let us know and we'll get it taken care of.
Perfect. It's going to be great.
So Jet, for example, just sent you an email, right? And we can see in here, Jet's just saying this is a test, see if the email works. I could come in here and reply to Jet. Working great. Thanks. And hit reply. And that's going to send Jet an email back. It'll be totally seamless from his perspective, whether it's a DM or comment or whatever it might be, right?
Okay. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. So it comes from whatever the method that it came in. I'm not a tech person. I work in packaging full time. So like, I asked probably a lot of like, when you're rattling off all that stuff about like, you're probably familiar with, I'm like, I can tell you what the resin code is for polypropylene, but I don't know what Zendesk it is.
Well, as you said, Adam, when you know the best 50 high school basketball players in Utah at any given time, there's not a lot of time for customer support tools, right?
That's a whole other topic. Yeah.
Whole other topic.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I've just pulled up a test store to just show off a couple of the features here. But basically, when you get a customer that emails you and they have a question about their order, we're going to pull in all of their info. So this is, obviously my account on the dev store. We've kind of got some crazy numbers going on here. But you can see that on this dev store, I've spent $1,000, $1,700. I've had 18 orders and made 14 returns.
That seems like a bad business model.
Yeah, I'm clearly not liking the product very much. I'm
No,
scamming something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully this is nice because you really just get that customer view, and we just check that email. We'll automatically pull this in, and then we're going to go show each of these returns, each order that the customer's placed, and say you wanted to start a return on one of these orders. Just hit right here, click create return, create claim, refund the customer directly from that chat interface, right? I'll get that zoomed in a bit. But,
Oh, okay.
Got
it.
Yeah,
so if they're angry and they send you a note and they say, I want my money back, you go, okay, great. And you just hit create return. And then does that just seamlessly integrate in and send them all the stuff? Is that how that works? Okay.
Exactly. And that'll just plug right back up here into your returns tab. You'll come through and process it. It'll be the exact same.
Sweet.
Couple other cool things here would just be all the info that we can pull in around shipping and fulfillment. It can allow you to cancel orders in here as well if it's unfulfilled. And then I think our templating feature could be cool, Adam. So let's pull yours back up. What are some of the most common questions you end up getting around Weenus Lube? Maybe where's my order?
Yeah. Because it's a one, like, sometimes I'll get an order and I can't ship it out for 2 or 3 days, just because we fulfill it's not like a 3PL or something. It's the closet in my office. So yeah, where's my order? I do get a lot, like, I will have people reach out either jokingly or not jokingly. Like, I think one of your coworkers did and was like, this product is inappropriate. I think that was like, I'm testing some things out, but I have had people who are like, how dare you, which is the silliest thing in the world. But it's because they don't honestly know that weenus is a fun word to say, but is also a technical term for the skin on your elbow. So, how much, like, how big is it? How big is your Weenus lube tube? So
is a common question.
So yeah, those would be
cool. So I've just built out maybe a template here to address the common where's my order question.
Oh, sweet.
And everything you're seeing here in purple is going to be automatically pulling from the customer's info in Shopify. So like, hi, customer first name is going to auto pull. Thanks for reaching out. Here's a link to track your most recent order. And then we'll just pull in that order number, send the URL link, and then we'll go, thanks, agent first name. All right.
Cool.
So if I go ahead and hit save template and then add that template to the message, you'll see that because Jet doesn't have any orders with associated tracking, that some of these failed to populate, but it does pull in his first name and then my name, as I'm the agent who's responding to him right now.
First of all, how dare you, Jet? You just come into my mentions, you just slide into my DMs, and you're not even a freaking customer. It's pretty bad. I even gave you a
time, right?
You couldn't come and order one.
I was gonna say I do have one already, so when I finish the bottle, then I'll come.
Sounds like you need to order one using promo code Redo.
True.
And give it away to your friends and family. It does actually make for a pretty funny gift when somebody opens it and they're like, "What is this?"
Yeah, white elephant gifts.
The perfect white elephant. Yeah.
Particularly, it's a little bit more shocking in Utah than other parts of the world for obvious reasons. People, it's kind of like, what did you just do? What did you give me? And then you can explain it to them, and then they're happy, and it actually works. Okay, well, that's a super cool feature. Anything to make things quicker to be able to get information to the customer, I think is amazingly helpful. And just to be clear, so far of all these things, I am not responsible for much, if any, payment to Redo, correct?
Zero payment to Redo. That's correct.
I'm listening. So when do you start paying me? That's the real question.
So that's the next product here. There actually is a way, Adam, that you can make some money with Redo. And the way that we do that,
I'm
I'll pull up
listening.
I'll pull up an example here. Here's a good local brand called Rags that we work with.
Okay.
So I'll just add a product to my cart. And then when I go ahead and open that up, give me 1 second here. Well, let's reload their cart. Looks like they're having a little. Oh, it's a final sale product. I'm always doing that. Can't purchase return coverage on a final sale product.
Got it. Hey, we're learning something. This is why I think these live things are fun, because sometimes you see like the videos where it's like a perfectly curated video, but nothing is ever perfectly curated in life, right?
Right.
So, okay.
Here we go. Okay. So pulling up another one here. We'll go ahead and grab a product, add it to the bag. One thing that you'll see is that this merchant is actually selling free return shipping plus package protection. So Redo is not displaying just without that return shipping, but also with the package protection. And I can add or remove this from my, my cart and checkout right here, right? The cool thing about this, Adam, is that package protection side of things is totally going to the merchant. So the revenue split here is Redu's taking a flat $1.98 for return coverage, and then the merchant is taking, whatever dollar amount that they actually want to charge for package protection. And I think a lot of our merchants end up just doing like 2% of order value, or maybe a tiered pricing where they charge $1 if it's 0 to 100, right? But we just totally allow the merchant to control that pricing. They make however much money they'd like, and then they own and manage the claims for the most part.
All I heard is that I can make money off of package protection. Packaging
Well,
continues to pay.
Right? Since we're on the packaging podcast, I mean, here we go.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's the idea. And, we've seen that the coverage model in checkout for package protection is something that customers want to buy, but that generally merchants like yourself want to own their own claims and manage their own claims because they don't happen very frequently. And because when they do happen, they want to make sure that they're personally addressing the customer rather than some third party. They don't want Redo to be managing the claims and deciding when to refund the customer.
That makes sense.
So that's kind of one additional feature. And we've got a whole portal and ways of managing these in terms of warranties and whatnot. But just super high level, we see a lot of our merchants, I think about 90% of them are using this package protection and ending up making quite a good margin on their coverage here.
Sweet.
Cool.
Okay. Are there other things? This sort of feels like Christmas a little bit. Like I just keep unwrapping new gifts that will help the world eradicate dry weenuses.
One thing I'd like to mention too, with that, I guess, checkout experience that Sam was showing, it's also a win-win-win again, because people who buy things online can typically have a hesitancy, buying Weenus Lube or clothing or anything like that, just because they don't know what it looks like or what it is because it's not in person. So having those features where they can have return coverage or shipping protection, it really brings down some barriers for people as customers, and it actually helps conversion rates for the product, and it just increases the overall experience for the brand, for the customers. So it's really cool how these tools.
I totally agree with that, because I do think there's so many times where I'll be like, well, I can always return it. That's literally my justification for so many purchases that I never actually return. Because I heard a phrase once that people buy, or it was actually by Jonathan Haidt, who's a sociologist. He said people make decisions emotionally, but they justify intellectually. And so this idea that like you could make a purchase, but then rationalize it with like, well, I can I can always return it. Or if something's wrong with it that I don't like. Now that happens, obviously, people probably do return things, right? I mean, I'm sure it happens where they don't like it. So it's not an irrational idea, but it just does help, I think, go, especially with a product, to be candid, like that doesn't exist. There's no specific elbow skin lotion. So it's like, I don't know if this will help people who do have like really like ashy elbows or dry elbow skin. It's like, well, I kind of want to know. And I don't sell like samples of it. I don't give away, I don't do sampling at Costco or like, show me your weenus. And I'm just like, meh, meh. That's not how, it's not how we're going about selling this product. So I think it's really cool. Well, have we run out of time, gentlemen? Are we, did we do all the stuff?
You know, we've got one more for you,
Okay.
Adam.
All right.
Kind of the grand finale here.
All right. Do I have a drum roll? I don't.
So I think one thing Redo wants to do is just optimize, hey, every part of that customer experience. How can we really make it better? And we've kind of helped some of your support. We've helped a little bit on your site in terms of offering that option in checkout. The last thing is going to be, well, after I purchase something, I've got this nice continuous brand experience, but after I purchase something, what does my order confirmation email look like? What does your shipment is in transit email or your delivery email look like? We've seen those are actually the most opened emails that a Shopify brand's ever going to send. And they're kind of the least attended to emails as well.
Yeah, I have no idea what mine say. 0.
Well, I hate to do it to you, but I've pulled them up. Is it okay if I share them?
Oh, sweet mother of God. Okay, everyone, kids, blind your eyes. I have no idea what this is going to say. But your screen's not sharing anymore. How do we reshare your screen?
I think I just started. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah, we'll add it to the stage. Can I preview it? Okay.
Okay. So there's nothing too crazy here. There's nothing too crazy going on here, but basically, this is what that default Shopify email is going to look like, where customers, purchase something and then it's out for delivery and they get an email that looks just like this. Now, this track my shipment button is either going to take the customer into like their Shopify tracking, which is really just Shop Pay and is kind of an extension of this email, or directly to the carrier's website. And what's kind of a shame about this is, you can come in here and edit the liquid code or use a couple of apps to edit this code, which is going to help you customize this a little bit more. But the majority of brands do so much work to get a customer in the door and then out of checkout, and then we kind of fall off in terms of the brand experience. So one thing that we've really tried to do at Redo is, one, help you make this email look a lot better. And then two, maybe help you drive some upsells and some marketing in here. I pulled up the tracking page for one of our merchants here. It's a merchant named called Courtney Jean. And basically, I'm just logged in as one of their customers. I can go ahead and see that this package is going to be delivered on September 13th. These are all the items in the package. And then if I'd like to, I can go ahead and add these different products to my cart, right? So these are upsells, and you can configure the different free shipping upsell or percentage off order upsell that you're attaching right here. We've enabled all of this here in your settings, so nothing that you start working on in Redo is going to require another download. But you, and we'll go ahead and do this on another call, Adam, to save everybody some time. But you can go ahead and configure this order tracking page right here, where you can add in some different images, right, and throw in different upsells and whatnot.
Okay.
So that
so
should be pretty cool.
Like a, obviously with just one product that's actually available. I don't know, use a code to, share, or I don't know. We'll talk about that later, but I think that's because you're right. I mean, I don't actually do anything other than whatever Shopify sends them.
Right.
So,
well, and maybe you want to start running your business on a subscription model, right? So you say, hey, your weenus is going to keep getting dried out. You're going to use all the lube. Like, let's do it once every 6 months. We'll send you a new bottle. And this could be a hyperlink to subscribe or to your YouTube channel or to your podcast, right?
Got it. Man, a podcast about weenuses would actually be pretty. it would be fire. I think it
Hours
would
of content. Yeah.
it would I don't know what the words are.
So the last thing here I'm going to call out is just that, what we've seen is that a large percent of the customer questions you're going to get are going to be order related. So customers are going to reach out and say, where's my order, or ask for some tracking updates. And Shopify doesn't send many of those proactively. So one thing we'll enable for you is we can send different emails based on all these different statuses. When it's fulfilled, in transit, stalled, delayed, arriving early, failure, whatever it is, we can send a different email. So you proactively update your customer. And as a result, you're getting less inbound customer support tickets with customers reaching out, right?
Got it. Okay. So we could create like a whole trigger that would just automatically be emailing them if,
any one of these things happens
for various reasons. That's sweet.
Yeah. And we can build out like separate emails for each one of these statuses, right? And then configure upsells and images in here as well.
Cool.
Okay, well, that's a lot of software for you, Adam.
So much. But what I like is that I had to do very little, which is, I think, a solid implementation. Obviously, I had some instructions beforehand, so I could, help make this thing a little bit less painful for the people who might be watching, either on recording or live. But I will say, I mean, obviously, we all get inundated with software. Various different softwares, and for a while there it was like, we're the Uber of squirrel hunting, and you're like, wow, that's a weird everyone had a thing that they were doing. But I just liked how this was like so simple and easy just to get done. So kudos to you guys for making things easy and delicious. The crumble cookies are a good idea.
Thank you.
Hey, well, thank you, Adam. And we'll make sure to stay in touch. We've also got reviews and customer accounts and some AI shopping assistants that we'll be rolling out here shortly. And so we'll make sure that, you don't miss out on anything.
That's awesome. Well, Jed, any final words?
No, Sam crushes it every time he does an onboarding, but yeah, the whole idea is taking over Shopify, taking over the world. But in reality, yeah, we just want to help out as many brands as we can, and it's free, so give it a shot, and we can throw in the calendar link somewhere for some of us reps.
Yeah, we'll put it. You guys can even like reshare this on LinkedIn if you want with a Calendly link. I'll certainly reshare it. I really do appreciate you guys, being willing to do this live, and also just for making it legitimately like so easy to get onboarded, to understand it. Like, you don't have to be a tech person to get it, which I think is really helpful. Sometimes some of the, is it called UX? Is that what it is? Where I have to like go in and like click buttons. Sometimes that stuff is a little bit cumbersome and kind of brutal. And so this was like so easy. You just go in, even like a 43-year-old MySpace loving public school graduate like myself.
Are you on MySpace, Adam?
I've not been. I was though.
Okay.
Like, I was on MySpace. I was on Facebook when you had to have a college email address, like real early on.
Really early.
Like it was the Wild West. Like Napster had just come out, and I was in the dorms at Colorado State. Like, I can't believe I can just burn CDs. I don't have to buy them anymore. The music industry is toast. The music industry is like, we're gonna make more money. But yeah, I had a killer MySpace page. It was the best.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I should probably go try to find it again. I've heard you can find your own MySpace page for everybody out there.
Track it down.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
we'll do another
guys,
live. Yeah.
we will not. That will not happen. Well, hey, if you guys want to share the code, like I said internally, I'm happy to send out some Weenus Lube, and appreciate you guys jumping on here and educating some people. And the code's only good until Wednesday, and then the code dies off. I'm pretty sure. I'm 92% positive that I did that correct in Shopify. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay.
And if anyone has any questions, reach out. I'll make sure Sam and Jed are tagged on this post, or you just go to getredo.com and I'm sure someone will get in touch with you.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Yep.
Talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.